All right, welcome on board, everybody. So we're going to get into the GDPR. The whole essence of GDPR is it's an EU data protection law. The intention is to give us a comprehensive data protection law. This was enacted by the European Union in 2018, and the bottom line is that we're saying we should have data protection for individuals in terms of how do we collect our data, all right, store the data, process it, and protect it. Let's go. Everybody, if you don't mind, I would like you to type this if you don't mind, everybody. Do me a favor, just type this real quick. Now, if you get this, honestly, you'll be in a very amazing shape. So let's keep it simple. When we talk about privacy, we are saying, how do you collect my data? Let's type collect real quick. How do you store my data? All right. How do you process the data? And ultimately, what is the mechanism to protect it? Let's go again, one more time. All of us, we share our data all the time. The bank, social network like your Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. The bottom line is you're saying, listen, how are you collecting my data? How are you storing my data? How is it processed? And what are the security or protection around my data? I think those are fair fundamentals to ask, right? So within the European Union also, we said, okay, listen, we have all our members. They are gradually having transaction with a lot of organizations all over the world. Can you all tell us how do you collect our data? How do you store our data? How do you process the data? Now, when we say processing, some of the data, people send it to third party, believe it or not. When we sign that fine print with your social network, Instagram, Facebook, and all those stuff, sometimes you consent to them to share your data to third party. And that's why you get some crazy weird calls, emails from certain agency because we opted in also for them to contact us. Of course, I agree with you. None of us have time to look at all the fine print, right? But this is the reality, right? So it's a big deal. Then also, what are the protection? Let me ask you, let's just think from a second. Forget cyber for a second. If I ask you, what are the ways you can protect my data on, let's say, WhatsApp? Most of us, virtually all of us use WhatsApp. Let me ask you, let's just throw it out there. What do you think, if I ask you, how can you protect my data on WhatsApp? What do you say to me? Just type what you think. Let's go. I love that. You hit the nail. Encryption is a big one. Multi-factor authentication. That's the reality, really. I mean, if we forget anything, I mean, and if you've not done it, please everybody go and set up your MFA on your Facebook, on your WhatsApp. And some of us have been victim of those moments when, um, a lot of attempts have been made to hack your system. So make sure you set up your MFA, set up make sure your data is encrypted. But those are the big one. Of course, along the line also, we're going to make sure that how do we, I like that. Somebody said timeout. That's a good one, King. Some people will set up a timeout, idle session timeout, whereby when you leave your screen idle and you rush to the restroom, before you come back, can somebody just use their camera to take a picture of people's payroll, confidential information? So within certain seconds, the threshold will be automatically to just time out. So it will be blank. So it's a good security mechanism also. I love that. Thank you. Somebody said 2FA. I love that. Temitayo said access control. That's another big one, right? Because think about it. Yeah, I love this. Dolakwa, you're awesome. At the end of the day, we're thinking of, okay, what about the password management? How do we manage the password? Are you going to just allow somebody to use password as password? You put PASSWORD. Your system would have been configured to say, I'm not going to allow that kind of password because somebody can guess it easily. If somebody's going to compromise it, give them work to do, right? Don't make it too easy for them, really. Data anonymization, that's another good one. Sometimes people scramble your data so that nobody would understand what kind of data it's there. So that's a good one also. Love it. Okay, this is great. So you can tell already, even without me saying it, honest truth is that we already know some of these things because it's part of our day-to-day task anyway. So we can all agree. Again, let's quickly recap. We're talking of how do you collect my data? How do you store my data? How do you process it? And how do you protect my data ultimately? Okay, good. So what are the key objectives of GDPR, right? One, we're saying it would ultimately enhance the security and privacy for European Union citizens. Now, there's a history to it a little bit, right? In World War II, All of us are aware of the Holocaust that happened, right? So historically, it was a big deal that is being documented as, over 6 million Jews were um, eliminated then, right, in that war. Now, because of that history, going back, they realized the reason it could happen then was because it was easy to target certain demography because of the data. So now we are saying you can't just have access to people's data. No, in the whole of EU member states, you just don't have access to people's data. And if you violate that, the fines are quite crazy. So people take it serious. It's not a joke, right? Serious stuff. Then, of course, grant data rights. We're saying I have the right to ask you to make correction. If there's a mistake in my data, to delete my data from your database, I have a right to do that. So you can't just capture my information and think I can't fight back to ask you to remove it. Also, it ensures accountability. I know what we are all thinking. Well, people can self-regulate themselves. History has not shown us big organization self-regulating themselves. I'm sure you've seen a lot of big players come to Capitol Hill in the US. They have to testify before Congress and talk about why they violated certain rights. So it's a big deal. And sometimes the fines are crazy, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Then, of course, it helps to increase transparency in general. At the end of the day, these laws are passed. Don't, yeah, I know the normal political angle at times is big corporation versus the customer's right. It's a tricky slope. The common conventional wisdom is we should let people self regulate themselves. History has not shown corporation people to be very good at self regulating themselves, right? That's just the reality of it, right? So at the end of the day, yes, self regulate yourself. That's fine. Do you? Okay. But there must also be an independent oversight on you. It's not enough to tell me you want to self regulate yourself. you know um so it's something that we have to understand and say, hey, yeah, self-regulate yourself, but ultimately also there should be an independent oversight. And the European Union is not going to play games really. If you violate, they fine you. The fines are quite expensive too. They don't play games really. It's crazy, really. So what's the scope of an applicability of GDPR, right? It applies to any organization processing data of individual residing in the European Union, regardless of location. It doesn't matter. So you might be a company based in the US. Some of your customers are based in the European Union. Yes, you have to make sure you cover them from a GDPR angle. So we have what we call data controllers and processors also. This covers both organizations that determine the data processing side of things and those that process data on behalf of controllers also. And what are the personal data covered? So any kind of data that can be used to identify an individual directly or indirectly does not matter. So for example, you might tell me, well, all I have is your social security. My name is not there. Well, it ties to my name. So that is the personal identification information. Well, all I have is just your bank record. I don't have your name. Well, it still ties. So anything that can directly ties it back and forth, it's a big deal. There was some years back, I had a project in Germany, in my case, and then they had safe harbor law because you could not just send files of European Union members to the US. Some of us had to physically actually go there to capture the information. So you had to physically go there, because of that regulation, the technicality around it. So we just didn't want to violate that law. So we had to get a team to physically go there. So this is corporation take it serious because the fines are really, really bad. You can really get into big trouble. So people don't mess with it. Now, individual might take a risk. Corporation is not going to take a risk at all because sometimes we are talking of $20 million fine, crazy fine. So people don't, it's not a joke, it's serious stuff, right? What are the key principles? In simple terms, ladies and gentlemen, lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. Now we are saying My personal data must be processed lawfully, so it has to be legally collected from me consenting. It has to be fairly collected and transparent. There should be transparency around it, right? The purpose limitation is saying my data must be collected for specified, explicit, and legitimate purposes only. So it has to be specified. You have to tell me what is my data being used for in real time. Then data minimization, we're saying only collect and process data that is necessary for the intended purpose. So don't tell me you need my social security number, but you also need my name, my address, my phone number, my email, my next of kin. Dude, you're stretching it. Come on now. What is next of kin? Not just next of kin, the phone number of next of kin. I'm sure some of you have seen some, places they will ask you to fill some forms, and it's quite embarrassing. Some will even tell you, spouse name. Then if there's an emergency, give me emergency contact. They will even say secondary, primary, emergency. Then you are wondering, wait a minute, this is more like just tell me to bring my whole family to you, really. Because so sometimes I think it's excessive information, and this is what the GDPR is saying: data minimization. If you don't need the data, then don't even request for it in simple terms. Accuracy is another big one. We're saying the data must be accurate and reflect truth where necessary, kept up to date, meaning if my data point changes for any reason, I hope you're also going to make the changes to my data. If there's an error in my data, I can request you make a change to correct it in your database also. Okay. What are the rights of individuals under GDPR? Let's talk about the rights real quick. Your right to access, it means you, my friends, you can request access to your personal data and obtain information on how it's being processed. You can ask anyone, hey guys, I need to know how my data is being used. Right to rectification. You could request that incorrect or incomplete data be corrected. It's your right. You can also request a right to erasure. You can say, all right, you know what? I'm not feeling you guys anymore. Delete my file. You have a right to do that too under GDPR. Also, we have a right to restriction of processing. I can actually request restriction of processing of my data under certain circumstances. I can actually request it too. So the point is that yes, you have access to my data, you collect it, you process it, you do everything, but also have a right to ask you to scratch it. Maybe when I gave you my consent, I drank margarita, and I was just, it's Friday evening. Thank you all for joining. I know you could have been enjoying your margarita. You chose to join us, so thank you. So, maybe I was just a little bit, under the weather after taking a lot of margarita, and I said, okay, process my data. And I woke up the next day, Saturday, took coffee, and realized, shoo, wait a minute, I gave you access yesterday night. I'm changing my mind. I can call you and say, okay, guys, delete my data right now. I have a right to do that, right? European Union, some of my folks on the call, they are in the EU space, in Germany, in UK, in Spain, Belgium, and all that. The truth is that you guys don't play games. North America might still be a little bit, but GDPR, those guys don't play games. It's not for them. It's emotional. They will come after you. There's no corporation don't have the same power as they do in North America. Yeah, US mostly. Um, Compared to European Union. European Union, if you cross that line, the fines will be heavy. They don't play games. Lobbyists will not help you. They would make sure they take their pound of flesh most times. So it's serious thing for them there, right? All right, legal basis for data processing. Let's keep it simple, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it for a second. For those of us in North America, for example, it's fair to say before you see your doctor, mostly, or even for your financial stuff, they will ask you to sign a consent form. It has to be clear, specific, informed, and revocable for data processing. I can choose not that you should not process my data in the future. Another thing is contractual necessity. You know, um, Sometimes also is necessary for contract performance. So, sometimes people actually legally have documents signed also. Legal application meaning it's required to comply with the law. It's an obligation, such as for your employment law, tax laws. We have to consent before. That's why your tax attorney, before they process their taxes for you, you have to sign certain consent form. Then vital interest. Processing it's necessary to protect the interest of the individual or another person. So the legal element is also there. You know. So what about the requirement for organization? I know you're thinking, okay, wait a minute. Well, I'm an individual. I don't care. What about organization? So one thing I want us to type is um, for organization is privacy by design or data protection by design. Can we all type protection by design real quick if you don't mind? Protection by design. Now, one thing you'll notice is that most of the time, at the end of the day, in the past, mistake people have made is that privacy is a concern. We treat it when it comes. The organization is fined, it becomes a reputational risk. It impacts everybody. It's embarrassing. So we said, you know what, we're not going to play this game again. In your design phase, every one of our design phase, we have to think around privacy also. We have to think about security also at the design phase. The time you're thinking is where you have to start implementing privacy concern. We're not going to wait till there's danger. No, we're going to start it by default. So every organization now, by default, privacy concern is going to come up. If I'm based in the US, I'm a multinational and I have presence in Europe, even if it's one European member country, GDPR by default. So it's not like I have to think about it. It has to be part of it already. There's no shortcut to it. So we got to make it part of the process immediately. Another thing we'll have to think about is data protection impact assessment. Can we all type this if you don't mind, everybody? Can we all say DPIA real quick? Data protection impact assessment. And this is required when you are processing activities that might likely result in high risk to individual rights and freedom within your organization. So you have to do a data protection impact assessment. Then, because you're an organization, you also have to appoint a data protection officer. Now, the reason is that you're just providing someone that is giving the oversight on your privacy within your organization. That's what you're doing, right? Remember again, welcome on board for some of us just joining. The focus is GDPR, is focused on the European Union member states, right? So, but it's not just having a presence in European Union member state, but if you have a company anywhere in the world and some of your customers are in those EU member states, it's still applicable to you. There's no shortcut around it. And that's why sometimes, believe it or not, some organizations, they weigh their risk. I want to expand my business to Europe. I understand there are regulations I have to also consider. Do I have the capacity to comply with those regulations? Yes, no. If the answer is yes, okay, I execute. If it's no, I'll probably pause until I have the capacity. Because the ramification of not complying with those laws, we're talking of millions of dollars that can just make all your profit disappear. So people don't mess with it. It's serious business, okay? Another big one I like here, okay, everybody, if you miss anything, don't miss this one. Breach notification. Can we all type breach notification, everybody? And don't overthink it. All I'm saying is that if there's a compromise of our data, how do we notify people? The notification part of it. So let me tell you why it's important. Everybody must type this, please. Everybody must type this. Don't forget everything. Don't forget this one. For European Union GDPR breach, you need to report to the relevant authority within 72 hours. So let me ask you, how long should I report to the authorities if there's a breach within European Union member state data? Let's see. Now, I believe it's a lot of difference for some regulation. For us in the US, it would take maybe 30 days. So imagine 72 hours means in 3 days you have to report. Do your investigation and report in 3 days. So let's take it again. How long does it take for you to report for European Union if there's a breach? 72 hours. So you can see now that these guys don't play game. Now, If you don't report in 72 hours, there's an investigation. Your fine is just going to be on steroid. They will start putting more fine because now you violated one of their main threshold that you should report in 72 hours. You've not reported, so it's just complicating your case. It's going to get worse, really, at that point. All right, let's quickly recap again. We said protection, data privacy protection should be by design and default. We need to do a DPIA. We need to appoint a data protection officer, and our breach notification should be within 72 hours. This alone, I think, is like a foundation of most of the things around GDPR, this piece alone, because it gets into some of those key elements that is required for organization as a whole. All right. What about the penalties? All right, pause. You can see we have 20 million reason to be scared. 20 million is a lot of money. I don't know about you all, you know, and that's quite a lot for an organization too. And sometimes, or 4% of your global turnover, the gross. So let's put it in perspective. If you're a company like Walmart, that in a year you have global sale of $300 billion. 4% of $300 billion is some change, and it's quite a lot. 10% of 300 billion is probably that is about 30 billion. 5% is about 15 billion. 4% is maybe like another 12 billion or something like that. So think about that for a second. $12 billion potential fine. So they're not playing games. It can be bad. So people don't just mess with it, right? So you can see why people, your leadership will take it serious because the fines are heavy. They don't play games. Let me ask you, if I ask you, um, what are the fine implications? Tell me just right, 20 million max fine or 4% of global turnover. Can we type that real quick if you don't mind? Somebody says, is this in dollars? Ha 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 ha. I think this is the dollar equivalent. Let me double check. And somebody can check that for us real quick. Is it dollar or euro? I would think it is dollar equivalent. I'll double check that. Okay. Somebody can check that for us and just tell us. Yeah, but that's pretty. Is it euro? Okay. Yeah, I think it's euro. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's euro. Thank you for clarifying that. I think it's euro. Yeah, you're right. I think it's euro. But euro or dollar, that's a lot of money. That is quite a lot of money. Oh man, that's so it's serious stuff. People don't mess with it because of the financial implication. It's just so much money to if you're a CEO or CFO or any of the C-level executive, and you're telling your shareholders that you pay 20 million in fine, they will just tell you to resign. I mean, what are you doing here? You're paying 20 million in fine. How much are we making that you're paying 20 million in fine? Oh, but they'll fire the person real quick. So it's serious stuff. Anyway, yeah, but that's a good one there. All right. What are the benefits for most organizations? We can agree it helps you to enhance trust, improve security. It gives we the people, greater control on how your data is being used. And I'll tell you, for most of us in North America, we can agree that it is at times a little bit saddening to see there's zero oversight on how data is being used, and there is little penalty for when there's violation. So it's a little bit not. It's nice to see when you see people take it serious, right? And there are actual consequences when you mess it up, which is good. Then the other thing is it gives that consistent, clear framework, regulatory framework. So every EU member state knows that okay, this is serious business. Any business going to, deal with European Union members, they take it serious because they know it has a lot of real life ramification. You can't mess with it because there are consequences big time. So that's a good one actually. What are the steps to achieve compliance in general? We do like a quick audit. We have a data protection policy, which is the bedrock of everything. You need to continuously train your employees, which is a big one out there. Then, like we said earlier on, appoint a data protection officer. So it's part of what organization must do. you should have a data protection officer also. All right. Okay, so that's really it. We're about to jump into the meat of it, folks. Let me quickly show us one more thing, then we jump into the meat of it. Okay, so we're going to talk about something real quick for some of us that have not been part of our maturity level before. Now, for us in our program, we use different maturity level. Let me just tell you what that means. All right, so that simply means sometimes when you do general assessments, we go to a bank or you go to a restaurant, they will ask you on a scale of 1 to 5, how was the food? So you kind of rank it, right? So maturity is just to say, okay, you are ranking how an organization is matured. Okay, so it's fair to say, and I'll show you an example so you can. So when we get to that part in a bit, it will not come out awkward to you for some of us. That, okay, what the heck is this? So let me show you guys real quick. There are a couple of maturity out there that we use in our program. So let me show you one of them, and I'll talk about two. Then we jump into the actual work itself. So let me show you an example, right? So for example, if you guys can see my screen real quick, you will notice one thing. We have level one, level two, level three, level four, level five. What does that mean? It means if somebody has a privacy policy that is not really functional, it's just as needed, ad hoc. I would say you guys are not matured. You're crappy. Level one. If you have some basic privacy requirements, oversights, okay, maybe you're level two. If you have a standardized protocol around privacy, it may not be efficient, but it's there. Then you're level three, you're baseline, you're where we should be generally without serious improvement. Now, when you get to a level whereby we can measure the effectiveness of your privacy, meaning I can look and say, oh, these guys are continuously providing oversight, they are reviewing their privacy policy and procedure, they are scoring the way their business is conducting business, then I know, okay, this is a level four, they are matured. When you get to level five, this is now you're at the big boys table, meaning it's not just that you're effective with your privacy, you also have a loop of continuously improving the privacy, which is just awesome, right? Meaning for most of my guys and ladies, you know that for me to push you to level five, I have to feel the conviction too. Because sometimes the reason we do that is because if you are too quick to give people good stuff, the danger is can you defend it too? If somebody asks, I want to defend you like a lawyer, if you are there, I'll be the first to be happy to say we are there, and this is my reason. If I cannot give you a reason in good faith, then I would be a little bit conservative and just respect myself and keep it at level four because I can defend it, right? Now, 4 and 5 is not bad, really. I would rather have you as 3 or 4 than an auditor, independent auditor comes in and say you're not really at level five, then it makes all of us look bad, right? So you kind of play that game to say, well, I want to be able to defend what I'm saying too from that angle. Okay. So that's what it means. So let me ask you, let's do a quick quiz together real quick. So tell me what you would grade me. All right. I'm going to tell you the scenario and I want us to type it real quick. Out of 1 to 5, how would you grade me? I have no privacy policy. However, anytime there are privacy concern, I can always go pull it in ChatGPT and Google. How would you rate me? I love it. 1. Okay. What about I have well-established policy on privacy and control? How would you rate me? Love it. 3. Yeah. And again, one thing I'll make you know is that it doesn't mean I'm right or I'm the authority in it. It's subjective. The key word is the reasonableness. Can I defend it and talk about it with the right material, with the right response to say this makes sense, right? It's the reasonableness, and I can defend it. So, it's subjective. Now, many times, even when you do assessment, you want to make sure you're you're flexible to reason with other people's point of view, right? If your point of view, you articulate it and it opens my eye to what I didn't know before, then that's fair. I mean, there's no there's nothing. I have no incentive to want to make you look bad, really, except you are really bad. Then I go out of my way to find some of the good things you have in your business. So, and because some of you may not know, your result and your comment matters. It can get people fired. A lot of people will be fired because it will expose their work. So I know that. So I'm not going to cover for you. I'll still relay where you are weak. However, I would find hard or areas that I know you are strong, and I'll make people see that well also. You know, yeah. So just kind of balance it because I know what could happen. So I'm just trying to balance it. Okay, yeah, this is bad, but you guys do some good areas. So if I'm in a meeting, I would always start with the good areas, right? So I'll tell your leadership, hey, these guys have been amazing in this area. This is great, 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 great. They will now start talking of the horrible, 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 horrible. That's where I'm going anyway. But you just want to make them save face before their leadership at the end of the day. But okay, so this is a model called CMMI. Can we all type CMMI, everybody, real quick? CMMI, everybody, if you don't mind. CMMI. All right. It's a maturity model out there. Now, there's another one out there. All right. This one was developed by the Department of Energy in the US. So some company might tell you that, well, we use, you know, maturity indicator level. Now, don't stress it. To be honest, it's just preference. Okay. So it's not like, oh, it's one that is better than the other. That's not necessarily the case, right? It's preference. That's the way I look at it. That it's strictly preference. So I'll show you one of them that I think is just, in my opinion, is just preference, really. But we have our, our programmers, we show both of them so that you have an idea of what each one of them also look like at the end of the day. So I'm going to show you real quick another one called C2M2, Cyber Capability Maturity Model. Can we all type C2M2 if you don't mind real quick? C2M2, everybody. We said CMMI, that was the first one, right? So we're going to go to another one, C2M2. Somebody said it's sounding like a chemistry class, right? It's just an acronym, so it's not a big deal, folks. Don't worry. Oh man, I know. This guy's teaching you guys chemistry again, right? No, it's an acronym. Okay. So let me just, it's just a short one. So, and the intent is to make you see that, okay, oh, people use maturity model. This one was specifically by the um, Department of Energy in the US. What's the purpose of this? Is to strengthen cybersecurity posture. It's a benchmark. It allows you to prioritize actions. And the intended audience for the C2M2, of course, your leadership, any one of those maturity, let's face it, the intent is to make your leaders understand where you are in terms of your maturity in your organization. That's all. Okay. So don't stress that. So what is the key concept here? You can see here, there's a level 0, level 1, level 2. So it gets to level 3 in this case. Um, for C2M2, they use it for critical infrastructure in the US. So that's really the goal. They kind of use it for, you know, um, your critical infrastructure will be like your refinery, your nuclear station, your power grid. That's what we call, so all those things that we cannot do without. So they said, Department of Energy said, let's find a way to kind of measure it in general. So that's the whole idea. But let me show you one of the actual different areas of it. All right, let me show you meal two. Let's go to, again, I'll keep this just for the sake of, but I want to just show you that, okay, meal zero simply means, okay, it's horrible. Um, Let me show you guys. So the first one here, meal zero is nothing is implemented. That's all it means. Meal one means it's partially implemented. Meal two, it's largely implemented. Meal three is it's fully implemented. Let's take it again. And mil is MIL 0, MIL 1, MIL 2, 3. So, the one we did before was CMMI, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, don't stress it. You can decide to call your own maturity just 3. 0, 1 is low, 2 is medium, 3 is high. You can call it whatever you want, right? It doesn't matter. It's just that every maturity model will decide how many layers they want to have. In this case, CMMI has 5, this one has 4. Mil 0, Mil 1, Mil 2, Mil 3. That's all. 0 means nothing is implemented easy. Mil 1 means partially implemented. Mil 3 means largely implemented. Mil 4 means fully implemented. That's all. And let me quickly show you guys something here. I did not put that number here real quick, but let me quickly put it so that you guys will see it. It will be easier to just relate with it. So let's put here Mil 4, Mil 3. I'll put it here so you guys will see it. Mil 3, fully implemented. Mil 2. Give me 1 second. You all will see it now. Mil 1 and Mil 0. All right, let me show you. Let me go back real quick and show you all. All right, let's quickly show you. And we're going to get into the lab right now. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so you guys will see here. Can you see now? Okay, let me go back there. So you guys will see now that, okay, so I forgot to add that part. So you can see Mil 0 here. It shows not implemented. Mil 1. I think I messed that up. It should be Mil 1, not Mil 2. Okay, Mil 1, yeah. Okay, let me save it back. All right, let's share back again. Okay, so you can see here Mil 0 not implemented, Mil 1 partially implemented, Mil 2. Let me ask you, quiz real quick. What department in the US implemented C2M2? What department in the US? Love it. That's it. Now, don't overthink it. Now, you can assume, you can understand why it's Department of Energy, right? Because they're the ones in charge of our critical infrastructure, our power grid, our nuclear station, you know, chemical company. So the energy part of the Department of. So because of that, they said, let's create our own consistent framework to focus on cyber threats for critical infrastructure. That's the whole idea about it, okay? So now, most people might use CMMI, and honest truth is that sometimes you can use your own, you can choose to call it your own pattern. It doesn't matter, right? But at least for the purpose of our exercise, we're going to use C2M2 for this exercise, all right? All right, so that takes us to the exercise now. Before we do the exercise, okay, let's do the exercise. The quiz will be the last one so that the winner will get their prizes. But let's quickly jump on let me show you guys the quiz real quick. Let's show you guys the quiz, the assessment real quick. Now, this is the meat of it. Everybody that is here tonight, this is the most important piece of everything we've done tonight. This part of it. So let me show you guys real quick, everybody. Remember again, I talked about Mil 1, Mil 2, blah, blah, blah. If you notice here, this is our mapping documentation, but you come here. This is where we spoke to the leadership here. And I'm going to send this document to everybody on this call in your groups. I'll send it, I'll share it with you all so that you guys will have access to this in your various groups. So let me show you guys real quick. Let's see. GDPR question. So yeah, what you'll be doing is if I ask a question here, you can always change the maturity here. So anytime you change the maturity here, then it will automatically change here also. You guys can see it will change here. as we change the maturity here. So I'll put us in groups and we can easily do that. But while we do that, let me quickly, let's take a 5 minutes break if you don't mind, so that we'll be back in the next. This is 6:55. Let's come back 7 p.m. Then we have 1 hour to go. The 1 hour is going to be for working session. So be ready to have fun. Grab some coffee, drink, and let's come back in 5 minutes. See you guys in a bit. See you in 5 minutes. Let's take a 5 minutes break. Refresh yourself. We're back in 5 minutes. All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So I'm going to share this in the different groups. Do me a favor. Once you receive this document, just give me a thumbs up and I'll show you guys real quick what we'll be doing with this real quick. Let me, I'll give you guys, let me share it in the, I'll share it in the WhatsApp group. Okay. All right. Do me a favor. Once you receive it, I'll send it to all the different groups that we have. Then just give me a thumbs up once you receive it real quick. I'm about to send it right now. Thank you. I'm going to send it to virtually every group. So we have a lot of it joined from different groups. So I get it. So just give me your thumbs up once you receive it on your side. All right. Let's see. Whatever group you're coming from, just let me know you receive it. Wherever you are, just kindly give me thumbs up. Wherever, whatever group you are in, just give me thumbs up. Yeah, I see a lot. Some of you give me thumbs up already. Kindly just give me thumbs up. It's on your WhatsApp. So check your WhatsApp wherever you got your information from. Just quickly give me thumbs up real quick because we're going to work on that right now. And as you're working on it, I'll give you guys a prompt which I'll copy to the to. Let me quickly send this to us. I'm doing that right now, people. I'm sending it right now. So if you receive it, just give me thumbs up. It's quite a lot of channels, so bear with me as I'm sharing with you guys. All right. Thank you all for giving me thumbs up. Quite a number of you are doing that already. All right. We're almost done with it. Now, this is the sweet part, folks. Believe it or not, this is the most sweet part of our program. This part we are getting to right now. Make sure you are part of it. Don't miss it for anything, I beg you. Everything we've done so far is the tip of the iceberg compared to this part of it, because this is the most critical part of it, the knowledge base to make you work. And you see yourself do some assessments also afterwards. So just be ready for that. Let's see. Okay, I'll stop at this for now. Quite a lot of you guys have pinged me. Okay, let's quickly jump on this one real quick. So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. All right. We're gonna do two together, then I'll let you all just do your thing, do your magic, folks. All right, let me share my screen. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what you would find, okay? So this is the core area in terms of GDPR here that you guys are looking at right now. We have the data inventory and mapping. How are they using our data? Lawfulness of processing our data subject right. Let me make this, let me freeze this for you all. Okay. So you notice here, let's start with the first one, ladies and gentlemen. The question asked was, you notice I would highlight this one. So let's change this to maybe green, light green. And this is the business response. So let's see. I asked them what personal data is collected, processed, and stored, and where does it reside? Look at what they said. A data inventory is maintained and updated quarterly as needed. What do you think we should score them here? From a meal zero, which means they are doing nothing. Meal one, they're just there. Meal three, what do you guys think we should give them here? Yeah, I may go with meal one also because they said as needed. So it's not really formalized, really, you know. So I'll put the pressure on them. Let's look at the second one. I asked them, what legal bases are relied upon for processing personal data and are they valid under GDPR? They said, processing activities are mapped to lawful bases such as consent, contract, or legitimate interest, validated annually by legal. That's pretty good. What do you think we should give them here? Yeah, I can do 3 year too because I think they are kind of, they are, yeah, I can do 3 or 2 there, right? Okay, let's look at this one. How are data subject rights requests handled and our procedures in compliance with GDPR requirement? They said we have a formal data subject request, including intake form, validation, and response tracking within 30 days. Mostly we use on ad hoc basis. What do you think we should give them here? I don't like the word ad hoc because ad hoc means that they're just using it as needed, right, in real time. What do you think we should give them there? I'll probably agree with one too. Because of that word ad hoc, it means they don't have a formal process. And that was why I intentionally used the word ad hoc, right? So it means that just as needed. We can't just take it as needed. It's not formalized. So that's a big gap for me. So I want us to work as a team. We're going to start with data security. All right. We're going to start with the data security here up to record of processing. And that will be the last one. Now, what I will do is, as you all are working on that, I'm going to send to the group a prompt on coming up with reports. Now, let me tell you one thing. It's tempting when we start working on this. Some of you might bail out and just be out of it. Please don't do that. This is the most important piece, an opportunity for you to present. Assign someone in your group to present to us. We're going to form 5 groups and feel free to join any group. Okay. I will create 5 group, red, orange, um, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to create red. You'll see me call, let's say, you'll see me. Oh, okay. It's already done actually. Love it. Okay. This is good. Red, orange. So you see that you've been placed on a group, everybody. I've already placed you all on groups, green, blue, and yellow. So you guys are already on group. So I'll let you start presenting now. And after that, be ready to assign someone to present to us in the larger group. If this makes sense, give me a thumbs up before I push you to your groups. If it makes sense, give me a thumbs up. All right. So let's quickly work on it. We'll do it for 10, 15 minutes. Then I'll send a prompt for you to use for the presentation. Okay. All right. Let's have fun. See you guys in a bit. All right, welcome back, everybody. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Be out of here in a bit. We're doing some more fun stuff, and I know most of you were, crunching it. If you don't mind, do me a favor. If you are presenting for your group, just quickly raise up your hands so that I can quickly showcase you. And it's always important, to kind of just see. I saw most of you what you were doing. Amazing stuff, folks. So let's just keep the momentum. I want to see you present. Let's start with Jennifer in the house. Go ahead, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer.
Hello. Hi, everybody. So this is for the green team. Let me share my screen real quick.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Uh, Here we go. Um, I'm
It's
sorry.
coming up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hold on. I need to I need to make sure I'm sharing the right thing because I don't think I was sharing the right thing. That's fine. I'll just share it from my chat GPT then, since I can't find the Word
Okay.
document.
Yep, that works.
Um, so no, I have to share it from the document. I am so sorry. Just give me a moment, please.
Oh. And Jennifer, we can. While you're doing that, let's bring Juliet in. I will bring you
Okay.
back, okay? All right. Go ahead, Juliet.
Mm. Hi everyone. I don't even know the the color of the team I'm representing. I just joined the breakout room. So I'll share my screen regardless. Oh, is she on? Okay, I think she's sharing her screen.
You
Oh.
can go ahead, Juliet.
Me? Okay, I'll share now. Yep. So so we conducted the assessment for the organization on GDPR privacy posture, and the assessment was conducted using C2M2 model across key privacy control domains. And the overall average for the assessment that was conducted was 2.0.
Okay. So
And
which would you say is the most important one to fix based on all of this?
we have to focus mostly on the critical, we have two critical risk aspect here, data
Okay.
management and legal basis that we need to focus on. And the level of difficulty is high, even though
Yeah.
the priority level is a short-term fix. But we have to focus on the critical aspect of the
So we
domain
have data management and legal basis. Those are the
basis.
big ones for you. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So
And so
okay,
we
okay.
have
So that's
medium, no, we have high level, the data rights, we have high level risk, and we
okay.
also have privacy engineering, this is by design, it's medium, and the level of difficulty is also medium. This is midterm fix, and also we
Okay.
have the governance, which is very low, and a long-term fix.
Thank
And
you so
we
much,
pull
Juliet.
the bar chart as well, just to see a visual representation of the
Yep.
assessment score.
Very well done. Now, remember again, for those of you new to our community, don't freak out. Oh, what the heck is this? In our community, we use different tools to make us efficient. And don't worry, she's pretty amazing. But if you are new here, don't have a headache. We use the tool to kind of pull this information, okay? All right. Thank you, Juliet. Awesome job. And you're in blue team, by the way. Thank you, Juliet.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you.
let's take let's take Benga. All right, go ahead, Benga. Orange team.
Meet myself. So let me share my screen now.
Yes, sir. And always give our guys and ladies love when it's not always easy to be a presenter.
can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, we can, Benga.
Okay. My name is Bing. I'm presenting for the Orange team. Right in front of you is the evaluation or the assessment that was conducted to know if the organization is actually in compliance with the GDPR standard regulations in relation to the privacy um, posture of the organization.
Yep.
Basically, we used the C2M2 standard to like assess, and the average maturity score across board is 2.44. indicating that while some fundamental measures are in place, significant enhancements are needed, particularly in data inventory and mapping and data subject rights. Below are the summary of the findings. And basically, our main focus under the summary of the finding are data inventory and mapping scope, which is
Okay.
critical, and I think record of processing activity, which is also 2. So if we go down to the table, this is where we can actually see a breakdown of what we really need to focus on. The first 2 are in critical stage, and these are the 2 that we actually need to focus on. Every other thing we have here are all medium, medium and low. But
Got
the
it.
2 most important ones, which is the data management, which the risk is critical, then the user's rights, the risk as well is critical. So the level of difficulty for these 2 are high and high, and we need short term
Okay.
to like put things in place. So these are the
Okay.
mitigation steps for the first 2. For data management, we would need to develop a comprehensive data map across system, while for the user rights, we need to implement a structured process for managing data subjects requests. So basically, I think our attention should be on the first 2,
On the
while
first
the
two.
other
Okay.
ones are the ones that we can actually look into as time goes on.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Benga.
Thank you.
Very well done. All right. And I like the fact you guys, the mitigation is there. So if anyone wants to see what we should do, they can easily see it. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's take uh Omar. Let's go, Omar. Go ahead, Omar. Go ahead, Omar.
Okay, yeah, can mute myself now. Hi, everyone. I and my team, we worked on the assessment to align our GDPR posture with the C2M2 model. During our meeting, we used that model to address all the controls, and the overall score we got was 2.44, indicating that several areas needs to be worked on and improved upon, like the data inventory and mapping and data subject rights. Our summary findings are the strong controls where data privacy, privacy by design, data breach response, intelligence transfers, and lawfulness of processing. The medium maturities were records of processing activities, while the weak one was, like I said earlier, was data inventory and mapping and data
Okay.
subject rights. So this is the visual, how it looks on the graph of the 3
Can we
we're
go? Can we
supposed
go to the towards the? Here we go. Perfect. Yep.
Okay, so this is our mitigation and action plan. We
Yeah.
have 2 critical, which has short-term execution priority, which
Yep.
the mitigation step for the first one, which is data and inventory and mapping, is to implement a centralized data and inventory and classification program to mitigate that
Okay.
particular domain or that control. And then for fulfillment of subjects and requests is high, so short term, which is 1 to 3 months. So the
Yep.
mitigation step is to deploy subject access request, automation, and training. And then the last one is a medium, which is the mitigation step is to automate and update records of processing activities. So the
Perfect.
recommendation as a group came to say that we need to address the low maturity data inventory, of course, and then mapping and data subject rights. So we need to implement the automated data discovery tools and enhance the programs across board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Omar. Awesome.
Mhm.
All right. We'll take the final one. I believe Jennifer. Then we do the last task for today. Now you notice also I sent you guys a prompt for resume, and the idea of that prompt is to let you know you can actually build a resume around this content. I like to do that because it forces you to start thinking along that side too. All right. Let's Jennifer, your show.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Sure.
Akin. And again, I want to apologize to everyone and my team.
You're good.
But we're back. So, my team, we did we reviewed the report that we had. The assessment was centered mostly on using the tool C2M2. We had an
Okay.
average score of 2.44, with key weaknesses centered mostly on data inventory mapping, data subject rights. The graph here is below. Based off of our findings, data inventory and mapping are critically underdeveloped. Most other domains meet the basic GDPR compliance, but they lack advanced integration. And then for data protection, impact assessment, and privacy by design and security measures, they are well adopted. So we need to focus more on data inventory and GDPR compliance, integrating
Excellent.
that into the system. Now, this is a graph just to give you that visual of where each of these areas are.
Okay.
Based off of our mitigation plan, we want to focus more on um, identity, that's asset management, which
Okay.
is critical, and also privacy as well, which is also critical and both high. And they have to be resolved within a short term because they're very vital to the business. For the assets management, we need to implement a comprehensive data inventory process. And for privacy, I would say implement and document processes for handling data subject request.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. That is very well done. At least, we can all agree for all of us. We know if it's critical, then naturally we have to focus on that because that means you got to fix it now. So that's
Yes.
awesome. Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very well
Thank
done.
you.
All right. Awesome. Let's give some love for all the presenter. Let's give some love to Jennifer, Juliet, Benga, Oma, and who else presented? Did I miss anyone? Sorry if I missed you. Awesome job, folks. Great job. Great job. Let's give them some icon of love here. Let's see. Let me give them some love here on my side. Some beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Awesome job. Okay, so the final thing we'll do tonight. Remember again, I sent a resume. It's a prompt. Use it for your personal self. It helps you to kind of mentally put it together to say, this is actually what you did. All right. For most of you, it's not, you know what, maybe I'll just show you guys real quick what that prompt looks like. Use the same prompt I copied. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. I mean, again, I'm not saying that's all you need to learn, right? For all of us, of course, we want to be part of our program. Make sure you're part of our programs. You learn more. But at the minimum, just make sure you have you can put it together in a communication. So let's quickly show you guys what it will look like. I intentionally kept GDPR privacy assessment so you guys can just have a feel of what a resume will look like, talking about everything we've really done, privacy risk assessment, develop GDPR alignment, privacy, blah, blah. Just put some thoughts around what we did. That's the reason I wanted to just put it together. So that's a high level of some key take away from what you guys presented out there. All right, so play with that one. All right, before we leave tonight, let's quickly do a quick quiz, folks. Oh, yeah, let's have some fun. Let's see if we can kind of quickly brainstorm and let's quickly play this Kahoot real quick. All right, let's host it live. Host live. I'm going to make it an individual thing so that we can have the top 3 winners. Let's make it classic mode. And let me share my screen. We normally do group Kahoot, but today, because you guys are going to individually win some gift. All right, I'm going to send it directly. All right, I sent it to the group. The pin is 7329884. Let me send it again. 7329884. And it's on the screen. Everybody start joining if you don't mind. Let's go quickly. It's simple, but hey, we need some people to win some prize tonight. So that if your family, spouses ask, hey, You left us for the last 2 hours. You can bribe them with some gift card tonight. Why not? All right. Let's give everybody else another few 10 seconds to quickly join real quick, everybody. And if you are new to our community, welcome on board. We always try to empower ourselves here with knowledge, with skills. We try to do it monthly now, the internship thing. And just going to be 2 hours. Yeah, we have our other program. We started our GRC program, but the next GRC program is going to be in August. Sorry, we normally take some time off after each one. So the next one is in August. But before that, we have a CompTIA Security Plus prep class. So make sure you join that one too. If you've not done your Security Plus, it will be a good way to kind of learn and do it. So make sure you do that too. More communication will go out on that one soon. All right, let's get started. And if you've not joined, let me give more people time because once it starts, it will be it will be a little bit biased because the way it works is that three people can get the answer right, but it's going to be the first person that gets it right. Okay. And if you don't use your real name, I think it's asking for email also. If you don't, it will, there's no way we'll know who won. So if you just put iPhone 1 as your name, you can't win. It has happened before and you can't blame us really, right? So make sure you put your email and so that when you win, we can know your name, your actual name. All right. All right, let's go, people. We're going to start right now. We're at 85. Let's see if we can get more people. Once we start, it will be hard to. All right, let's start. Okay. All right, let's go, people. I think they're easy questions, but you all can tell. Three, two, one, go. When was GDPR enforced? I know you can Google. I use ChatGPT, but before you get there, somebody has answered it. Excellent. Let's go. Awesome. All right, next one. Ooh, oh my, is not playing games. Okay, let's go. So, what sparked GDPR creation? What sparked the creation? Think about it for a second. What sparked GDPR creation? Cloud computing, encryption, increased surveillance, inconsistent laws. Inconsistent laws. Yep. Ooh, where did these guys come from? Oh man, you all are now playing games. Oh, I love this. What is a data controller? What is a data controller? Now, if you've looked at the book, yeah, you might have seen that part of it. Decides data use, process data only, has no obligation, only you based. Excellent. Decides data use. Man, okay, love it. Which is the key data subject right? Right to access, right to sell data, right to delete only, right to ignore. What right do we have? Yep, right to access. Man, this is one of those weird. What does GDPR apply to? What does GDPR apply to? Only data in the US, EU citizen data, only EU companies, only government data. EU citizen data. That's true. Man, this is awesome, man. What is the privacy by design? What is privacy by design? That's right. Integrity, privacy, early. Oh boy. What is a data subject access request? Right. What is a misconception about GDPR? What is one misconception? All data is exempt. Only EU companies comply. Only personal data matters. Data must be encrypted. Yeah, it's a misconception. Not only EU, any other organization. Wow. What is the age of digital consent? If you read the book, which I don't know if all of you have read it a lot, what is the age of digital consent? It's creepy, but uh, let me give you a clue. Of course, every country is different, right? So I was surprised some countries' consent is actually 13. Yeah, I think UK is probably 13 years old. That's funny. What is the role of a data processor? I think the name should. So, what is the key takeaway from GDPR? I agree. Global compliance needed. I love it. Man, oh man. Heh. What does GDPR stand for? That's bonus. General Data Privacy Regulation, General Data Protection Regulation. Thank you. What is a common violation of GDPR? What is a common violation? Yep. What is the purpose of GDPR? What is the core purpose of GDPR? Thank you, everybody. We'll be out of here in the next 7 minutes. All right. We try to stick to time here. Excellent. Personal, protect personal data. That's right. Okay, let's see. What is a data subject? What is a data subject? Excellent. What is the significance of GDPR globally? Excellent. You all are just amazing, folks. All right, so let's see. We have two more. What is the key principle of GDPR? Data sharing, data selling, data minimization, data maximization. Excellent. Ooh, amazing. Ha ha ha. This is crazy. This is awesome, folks. Okay, the final one. This is double point, so you can probably catch anybody. What's the role of consent in GDPR? What is the role of consent in GDPR? It's not required at all, essential for processing, only for EU citizens, only for minors. Thank you, Abigail. Excellent, essentially for, okay. And third place, Crystal in the house. Second place, Kenny T in the house. And the undisputed champion of the world, Esther in the house. All right, thank you all. Esther just got $75 gift card. Kenny in the house, $50 gift card, Amazon. And Crystal in the house, $25 gift card from Amazon. Thank you. Now, for all our winners, if you don't mind, do us a favor right now. Immediately, can you just send me your a quick text right now just to confirm I have your information, but please just send it to me right now. Make sure you send it to me right now with your email and your full name. And thank you everybody for being part of it. We have 4 minutes to go, and thank you, thank you. Just keep showing up. I challenge every one of us. At the end of the day, I know all we can control is just keep improving yourself. We are not of the illusion anything is automatic, but one thing I know is that there is power in incremental growth. You know, those little victories here and there, they add up. So I'm going to share the winner board with the larger group so that we all have, and just give them some love and celebration. It's not easy. I'll tell you, Esther, Kenny, Crystal, you guys are awesome. All right, can see Kenny send me a text already? Please, can you, Esther, can you send me a text real quick? And Crystal, please send me a text. If you don't send it to me, then I would have no record. And don't get mad at me if you don't get your reward. But send it to me right now, please, if you don't mind. And I will make sure you probably get it tonight. I'll have my team send a gift card from Amazon to you all tonight. Check your email and you should get your gift card. But thank you once again, everybody. Thanks for being part of our community. As always, keep doing great things. A few of you have asked me about all the upcoming programs. I'll quickly share with us real quick. Just go to the website as always. Always check out what's coming up in our community. We'll try and not overwhelm you with information, but every now and then you see us share stuff. You can go to the free courses here. This is the internship. We're going to upload all that information out there. Then this is for the upcoming class for August. You can feel free to share with your contact also. And we look forward to seeing you. Keep doing great things. I wish you Godspeed. Thanks for spending your time with us this evening. And enjoy summer, enjoy time with family, and God bless. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
When leaders are
Thank you all. Thank you,
born,
everybody.
embrace the tempo, let your dreams take storm. Rise up, leaders, let the beat